How do you best celebrate Songkran? Where do locals go and how do they celebrate? This video isn't just a survival guide. I'm Lizzie, I'm Thai Austrian, and I've been celebrating Songkran since I was a kid. So let me show you what Songkran is about and how to celebrate. So what actually is Songkran? It's a very important celebration in Thailand. It's basically comparable to Christmas in Europe. And it's the time of the year where everyone is trying to go home to see their family. Songkran is also the Thai New Year. In Europe and most parts of the world, we celebrate New Year on the 1st of January. It's the same day every single year. But in Thailand, it's based on the astrological year. So it's when I think the full moon goes into Aries. So not sure exactly what that means, but that's the day when they celebrate Songkran, which is why Songkran is always on a different day in every year. Because it's pretty much the biggest holiday they have. Again, it's like Christmas in Europe. You should plan ahead when you travel somewhere. So try to avoid the Songkran days if you want to take a bus or a plane or somewhere, because it could be that you're stuck in traffic or that many roads are blocked for the celebrations. Another reason why they celebrate Songkran is the beginning of the rainy season. So if you've ever been in northern parts of Thailand during smoky season, which is usually February, March, April, you will know it's not very pleasant. And it's because it's very dry, it doesn't rain a lot, and also it's called smoky season because the farmers are preparing the fields for the next season. And it's not very environmentally friendly because you basically harm everyone and the animals and everything in that area because they're burning all their fields to get the soil ready for the next season. But it's still the most efficient and fastest way and cheapest way for the farmers. So unfortunately, until I guess the government will have to jump in and find a solution for it. But until that happens, there will be dry season. But anyway, that's another reason why they celebrate Songkran, because they want to celebrate that the rainy season starts. So once the rainy season starts, it's a good sign because it means that all the smoke that's accumulated in the air is pushed down by the water. So in a way, it's good because it clears the air, but it's also bad because all the pollution gets into the soil. But that's a different topic. That's not what this video is about. So what about the whole water fight? Songkran wasn't always the huge water fight that it is now. It actually has a very traditional, calm start. So what people used to do in the past is they would go to the temples, they would get blessed by the monks, they would provide food for the monks, and they would be returned with some blessed water. And then they would go home to the elders and the family members with that blessed holy water, and they pour it gently over the neck. And it's also how you would bless a Buddha statue. So it's like a similar gesture. And you might have seen these cute, very beautifully crafted silver bowls in Thailand. So these are the bowls that they used to put the water on someone. So it wasn't like a splash like we are expecting during the water fights. It's more a gentle pouring and it's a blessing. And it's also for cleaning you off the bad things and getting you ready for the new year. Traditionally, you might find this water mixed with rose petals or some scents like jasmine or like typical Thai scents to give a blessing, to give a thanks, and to basically clear the bad energy from the past year and get ready for the new year. You might also come across a few people with colored paint on the face, and what used to happen in the past is maybe it has something to do with the Holy Festival. It's somewhat similar, but they used to mix some chalk with the water and put it on people's faces. And it was also an attempt, like that's usually something that kids and the teenagers do. So you won't find elderly do that. But it's something where they play around and flirt for the first time. So it's like this kind of stuff like, oh my God, you get to touch someone else because you would touch their faces and other body parts. But yeah. We don't get into that. But it's a way to also give someone a blessing. And initially, if I'm not mistaken, it was from the elderly who would put a blessing on the younger generation. So with the chalk. So like similar to how we would get like a cross for christening and things like that, they would put like a blessing with the chalk. So what should you wear during Songkran? First of all, I highly recommend to not wear anything white because it's not a wet t-shirt contest, but you will 100% get wet. You will get soaked. So what Thai people usually wear is a very flowery top. And it's from the tradition that New Year, new shirt. So people would gift each other a t-shirt, and you will also find a lot of shops in Thailand around Songkran season selling flowery t-shirts. So That's what I recommend. Then you will fit in, and it's quite fun. It's a lot of fun when everyone's dressed very colorfully. If you do buy a new shirt for Songkran, just be a bit aware that you don't buy something that you wear one day and then throw it away because, yeah, I mean, of course, if you want to do it, but I would recommend to never buy anything if you just wear it for one day. So if you go pick a shirt, then do it with the intention to wear it again, not just during Songkran. It should be a shirt that you wear several times. And maybe if you already have a flowery shirt, you shouldn't need to buy a new one. You can just wear what you already have. Or you could do some shirt swap with your friends. My grandma gifted me some of her old t-shirts, flowery shirts from previous years that she was wearing for last Songkran. So you can also swap them around. You don't always have to buy something new. I also highly recommend not to wear skirts. If you wear a skirt, then wear some leggings or shorts, bike shorts or something underneath, because you will be wet all the time. And you probably know as a girl what it's like when you're in a hot country and you sweat a lot and you have this chafing. Yeah, wear shorts. Even if you wear a skirt, wear shorts underneath. I also highly recommend to not wear any denim items, even if you wear denim shorts, because anything that has a lot of cloth, like denim, can get really, really heavy. So yeah, just be aware and be mindful that if you join the Songkran celebrations, you'll be wet most of the time during the day. And maybe there will be phases in between where you go from one occasion to the next, or maybe you'll have some food somewhere where you will dry up, but you will never really dry when you wear denim. So yeah, try to wear something light. Try to wear something that when it's wet, it doesn't get see-through. And yeah, something that's comfortable and where you can move around well. Also, one tip, and this year is going to be the first time I'm going to do this, is I'm not going to wear underwear. I'm going to wear a swimsuit underneath because it will just dry quicker. And also, it's just so uncomfortable when you wear like a wet bra, wet underwear. So yeah, I'm going to try this year to just wear a swimsuit. Yeah, it will be a little bit more comfortable and you will move around a lot. You will sweat a lot. You will be soaked in water a lot. You will dry up again. So I think wearing a swimsuit is probably more comfortable and more convenient. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Lizzie. I'm a freelance UX designer. I'm a digital nomad. I'm half Thai, I'm half Austrian. And I usually talk in this channel about how you can make the best of your work life. So I have a podcast called The Freelance Blueprint that you can check out here. But I'm also talking about how you can make the most out of your free time. So once the world is your oyster and you found a job where you can work from anywhere, that you also take advantage of the location where you're at and you can make the most of it. Like in this video where we talk about how to celebrate Songkran. So where are the best spots to celebrate Songkran? If you're in Thailand, it doesn't really matter where you are, you will come across a celebration. No matter if you're in one of the biggest cities like Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Phuket, wherever, or if you're in a small tiny town, you will come across celebrations. Like again, it's like Christmas. It's the place where everyone's going home, where everyone's going to join family and celebrate together. So you will find people that are celebrating Songkran. The most popular places are the big cities where everyone's going to, like Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Phuket, Koh Samui, Koh Phangan. You will find a lot of celebrations there. Just be wary because some of the places can get extremely crowded and that takes away of the fun. If you are somewhere where it's super claustrophobic, where you cannot move forward, it's not great. It's not fun. One of the places that I would avoid is Khao San Road. I mean, to be fair, I've never actually celebrated there, but I've seen enough pictures where I'm like, I don't want to go. Like some people claim that it's the best place, but I think it's mainly a place where just foreigners go. And I have a feeling that those are the foreigners that don't even realize what is being celebrated during Songkran. So I don't want to judge them. Like I assume it's a lot of fun there. I also heard it's better to go in the morning because it's not as crazy busy, but during the nighttime it might get super crowded. So yeah, if you're someone who actually wants to have fun and celebrate and move around freely, I would avoid that area. There are places like many malls that will do some sort of water fights and they might have some bands there as well. I think like Central World do that, Maya Mall in Chiang Mai. You will find a lot of places and they would usually have something where they announce where it's going to happen, what time it starts, and which bands are playing. In Chiang Mai, one of my favorite places to celebrate is around the square. You have a natural water supply everywhere and people actually go to the like to that water in the square and use that to splash other people. So it's not the cleanest water, but you always have water with you. So you don't have to find the next place where you can actually get some water. So you always have like a water supply with you. There's often like a parade. You will find people in the cars and then they will throw water from the cars. And it's also how the locals celebrate. So usually they go to the temples in the morning, they get a blessing from the elderly. And then after that, the teenagers and the children, they get into a car, they fill the car with water. So you will find these pickup trucks and they will find like some where you would normally put your ice cubes and stuff, they would put the water in there to get ready for the whole day. And yeah, they will just splash anyone and everything that they see from inside that car. So yeah, you could, if you can, join one of those parades, sit in the car, but also be aware you will be splashed the most when you're inside those cars. So if you want to celebrate like a local, you can also check if there's a few more local places. So last year, I don't actually know where it was on the map, but my cousins took me to a place in Lampang and it was just one road and it was traffic jam on both sides. They had karaoke and food stands on the side of the street, and then one side was going up and the other side was going down, and the cars were just splashing each other, and it was a lot of fun. You saw people with amazing costumes. You had people do karaoke and announcements and commenting on people's like cars and equipment. So that's a very, very local experience. I don't know how easy it is to find out where they are if you're not a local, but maybe you can make some Thai friends and ask them. But otherwise, I would highly recommend to go to either the old town in Bangkok or to the square around Chiang Mai. What does Songkran look like for a local Thai family? So when I spend Songkran with my family, I usually go to my grandma and I give her some money and she will give me a blessing in return. Like, it doesn't have to be money. You can also give them presents like a new dress or something that they like. And they will then give you a blessing, like blessings for the new year. And usually you might end up with like a wristband to protect you. And then you eat together. And then usually the younger ones get into the cars to join the celebrations and the older ones stay at home, just have food, to chill. So it's very, very relaxed, actually. When we were younger, my Thai family is from a rice farming area. So back then there was absolutely nothing. There was just one road. And we would already have our buckets full of water ready by the gate so that if a car or passersby would come, that we could splash them. But because it's in the middle of nowhere, you barely ever got a car coming by it. But you could hear other kids from the distance screaming. So you knew, okay, there was a car approaching. And then you would just wait. Like as soon as you hear the screams, you would run downstairs to get ready for the splashing. And then you would wait until the car comes closer and then you splash it. And it wasn't that crazy fun because most of the times when the cars came by, they were inside the car. Not all of them were sitting at the back outside because they knew it's not the safest to sit around during Songkran. But yeah, it was still fun and it was so much excitement just for a car coming by. So what should you do and what should you definitely avoid? One thing that you should 100% avoid is to point the gun. I mean, yes, it's a water gun, but like still at elderly or injured people or at any paintings or pictures of the king. That's like, I mean, people's opinion of the current king might not be the most positive, but still don't do it. It's not respectful. So I highly recommend to just splash your friends or other passersby where it's obvious that they're part of the celebration. Be respectful. Again, don't splash water at elderly or injured people. If you see that someone has what they call the Thai tattoo, basically if you had a motorbike accident and you have scratches, or if someone got an actual tattoo, like it's also something that you're trying to keep dry. And I actually was in a small bike accident 2 years ago. And I mean, nothing crazy. A friend was trying to teach me how to drive and we both fell. But yeah, that's for a different story. But everyone says it's his fault because he shouldn't have sat at the back of the bike. But anyway, we just had a few scratches and I was trying to keep the wound dry for the whole of Songkran. But I feel like for 48 hours or something, it was never dry. Like I had a plaster there, I had a waterproof film over it, all this kind of stuff, but it would get soaked and it would soak all the time. Like, so yeah, try that if you see someone who has a wound or something, to keep them dry if you can. Like if you can see that someone's really not into it, be mindful, be respectful. It's meant to be a blessing. It's not meant to be an attack. So yeah, be careful and be aware of that when you celebrate. What should you bring for Songkran? So when you're out and about, You will, of course, need some water. You will need some water guns or whatever it is that you want to use, but also be aware that you will get soaked. So one thing that you 100% should get is a little pouch to protect your phone, and you will find them sold in many, many locations around any tourist area. I would also highly recommend to keep any cameras or any tech that you spend a lot of money on at home, because maybe it can get stolen. I mean, Thailand is pretty safe, but still, it's huge crowds and you never know. And it can get broken and it could get a lot of water damage. So anything that is not a must bring, don't bring. You will have more fun leaving your equipment at home and you can then actually enjoy things than if you're constantly trying to protect your gear. Yeah, keep anything that's not waterproof at home. If you bring your phone, and I guess most of us will bring our phones because we have to navigate around, we want to communicate with our friends and find them in the messy crowds, definitely bring a waterproof pouch to protect your phone. Also, bring waterproof sun lotion. You will feel cold all the time. You might not feel how the sun is burning on your face because you're wet most of the time, but you will get burned. And I'm talking from experience. Make sure that you bring sun lotion and make sure that it's waterproof. And of course, bring some water guns. You might assume that you'll be able to buy them on the day, and sometimes you can. But I also remember last year, all the water pistols, everything was sold out. So buy them when you can. They break easily, so don't spend too much money on it. But also don't buy just something that you throw away after. So if you have already something that you can use for that, do this. Don't use things like water balloons or something. First of all, it's painful. It's the plastic from the balloons that then someone has to pick up and clean up. So make sure that if you do something that you don't leave waste. And yeah, get a water gun that ideally isn't too painful when someone hits you with it. And yeah, have fun. Just like, I feel like many people, and I've seen so many people there just going crazy with splashing people and stuff, and it can be fun, but also sometimes it's not. Like, if you exaggerate it, it's not fun. So just be mindful. All right, that's it for my Songkran tips. I hope you found it useful. If you watch this video, it means that you're most likely going to Thailand. So if you are, I highly recommend that you watch this video next. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I see you again in the next video. Bye.